Hey everybody, and welcome to our Google Adsense training tonight. Tonight's broadcast is going to be more geared towards those of you who A, have a website already, B, know what Google Adsense is and have an account with Google Adsense. So if that doesn't describe you right now, this training might be a little confusing. But it'll still be valuable to you because at some point or another during our coaching program, you guys should all have a Google AdSense account. You'll all have a website where you can post these Google ads. Now, as I was explaining to you guys that are live here with us just a minute ago before we started the recording, real quick, because tonight's not about the basics of Google AdSense. Tonight is about teaching you more about how to use it. Just briefly, remember, Google AdSense is not a right of yours. You don't have the right to use Google AdSense. You basically qualify to use it. And you qualify by having a nice website with a certain type of niche with some good quality content on the site. If you don't have that yet, then you shouldn't be using Google AdSense. If you do have that, then you should be using Google AdSense, and you should go and set up an account. And we've got some basics for how to do that in some of our other trainings. Tonight, though, I want to show you the inside of your AdSense account, and we're going to talk about adding Google Ad codes or AdSense code to your website. Okay? I think I've showed this to you guys briefly before, but let's show you again. So here we are inside a Google AdSense account. Okay? And when you're here, if you're wanting to add some of these ads to your website, you're going to start by clicking on the My Ads link, okay? So right up here where it says My Ads in the menu there, can you guys all see that okay? Do I need to zoom in a little bit, or is it okay? Seems okay. All right. Maybe I'll just zoom in a touch. All right. So we click My Ads here at the top, and it's going to display your currently created active ads in your account. Tonight, though, I'm going to create some new ads for you guys, and so we're going to start just from square one. We're going to click on this new ad unit right here, okay? So we're going to go New Ad Unit. Now, it's going to ask you for a name for your ad unit. And can I advise you, be smart about what you name your ads. I name my ads something that I'm going to remember in terms of the location where I'm going to be posting my ad. So if on my website, let's come back out here to, let's say I'm on my Volusion website for just a second, okay? So here's an example of a Volusion website. This is called Uptown Pearl. And let's say I wanted to add an AdSense ad to one of my pages here. Very specifically, let's say I wanted to add some AdSense to a product page on my Volusion account. Which, guys, by the way, would be probably not something that you would do very often. Because if I have a product, right, and I'm going to go to one right here. I'm going to go to earrings here, and I'm going to select a random product. We'll choose. I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's choose this one called the Nicole. This set of earrings here on the right. And this is a product that we've got on this website that we're trying to sell, right? We've got it priced for $12 and free shipping. You could come in here and click Add to Bag and check out. That is, as an e-commerce owner, if I own an e-commerce Volusion website, my goal on my pages is to get somebody to buy the product, right? So adding additional affiliate advertising, banners, and links to a page like this on my e-commerce store doesn't really make a lot of sense. Because why would I forego a sale of $12 for somebody to click on an ad here in my description somewhere where I might only make 30 or 40 cents on the click. Because, right, isn't that what Google AdSense is here, guys? Google AdSense isn't a high-paying advertisement. I guess I shouldn't say that. It is and it isn't. It doesn't pay high per click, but if you're getting a lot of clicks on your ads, you can make decent money off of it. But I'm going to show you nonetheless, so that you guys, if you were to want to put an ad on one of your products, maybe, for example, maybe it's a product that went out of stock. Okay, here's a circumstance where this would actually make sense. Let's say my product, the Nicole here, went out of stock. Okay, and I wasn't going to get it back into stock. And through my marketing efforts, let's say the Nicole was ranking well in Google. Okay, let's say this product was showing up high in Google and it was out of stock. Well, maybe instead of just leaving it blank and just showing out of stock here, or even worse yet, pulling it off my website so that I lose my Google ranking for this product, maybe I could come and place an ad here in the description of the Nicole. Okay, so what I would do if I were doing that is I would edit the product here in Volusion, and anytime you're going to be adding AdSense to to any page, whether it be on Volusion or any other type of website builder, you need to find where the HTML option is within the page or within said page. Okay, so here's the HTML option here. If you're on Volusion, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this better, but it's right here. It's this little less than slash greater than symbol. Can you guys see that okay? My mouse is running over it right now. I want to make sure that's clear. You guys see that all right? Less than slash greater than. That's the HTML. Okay, so if I click on that, guys, explain to me what that is when I click on that. Originally, it looked like this before I clicked on it. It was a little bulleted list right here. When I clicked on it, it changed to this right here. What am I seeing right now? This is the code, right? This is the HTML code that basically creates what people are seeing on this page, or at least in the description. Well, I want the code because this is where I'm going to post my AdSense code, all right? Let me show you how to do that. So we're going to go back here to our Google AdSense where we were. And I'm going to name this because I want to know where this ad is being placed. Because over the course of a lifetime on Google AdSense, I'm going to have hundreds and hundreds of individual ads that I've created to put on my various pages. So in order for me to track the performance of each individual ad, I need to give it a name so I know where it's going to show up. And so I'm going to say this one goes on Uptown. Well, I might even shorten this, UP for Uptown Pearl dash, and I'm going to say it's on a product page called the Nicole. So I'm going to do something like PR dash the Nicole, okay? And that signifies to me that this is on Uptown Pearl, it's a product, and the product name is the Nicole, and so I'm easily going to be able to track this ad's performance, okay? This is very, very important. Don't just sloppily put together names for your ads. Be careful about that. Be smart about it. All right, so ad size is the next thing. We need to choose a size for our ad. Now, they give you lots of different recommendations here, guys. You'll notice I've got a skyscraper style, and they give you kind of this grayed out area to show you the general size. See that large skyscraper, 300 by 600? 300 and 600 what, guys? What unit of measurement is this? It's pixels, right? Pixels. Pixels is kind of the measurement of things on a computer screen. Pixels. Well, to put it into perspective, the size of a typical pen that you would be holding in your hand, the length of that pen equals about 500 pixels. So if this is showing here that this is a 300 by 600, I can assume it's about the size of a pen by about half the size of a pen in length. And I can even preview what they look like. If I click preview right here, I can see kind of what this would look like. This size is obviously a little inflated because I've got my screen zoomed in. If I would zoom out of my screen, it wouldn't look quite as big, but this is an example of what this ad might look like. Okay. All right. So that's the large skyscraper. There's one called large mobile banner, 320 by 100. Large rectangle, 336 by 280. Leaderboard, 728 by 900. That would be really, really long, but not very tall, right? And what I would recommend to most of you guys is the automatic size responsive ad. In fact, virtually all of my ads now are these automatic size responsive ads. What does that mean, guys? What does it mean to choose a responsive ad? And why am I using them? Because I suppose I could look at where I'm putting my ad in this product description here on my Volusion site. And I might say, you know, I wanted a longer ad, or maybe I want it to be a little bit taller. Or, you know, I might try to figure out for myself what size seems best. Why would I just go with the responsive one? All right, Pam, I'm gonna go ahead and read that out if you don't mind. You say it changes sizes depending on the device it's being viewed on. As we continue on into the future, what we're finding is that more and more of the internet is being surfed and used on mobile devices. And I'll never forget this. I was in coaching. I was in internet marketing. You know, this was close to 10 years ago. And I remember hearing, this is back in the day when all of us had those little flip phones. Do you guys remember those days? Everybody had a little flip phone, and you know, you did text messaging off of the numbers of your phone. And the smaller the phone, the better it was. Everybody liked these really cool small phones. You guys remember that? That was only like 10 years ago. And I remember somebody, it was in an office that I was working, doing some mentoring like I'm doing now. And one of my colleagues walked up to me and showed me this article on the news, and it said that the prediction of this author of this news article was, their prediction was that they believed that the internet was going to move off of computers, or at least over time start moving more and more to mobile devices. And I remember looking down at my phone, and it was my little flip phone that was all beat up and small, and I thought in my mind, that person's crazy. There's no way the internet and Google and all of this stuff is going to end up on one of these little phones. And of course, how wrong was I, right? This was 10 years ago, and sure enough, statistically, and I don't have any statistics to show you right now, so you're going to have to trust me on this, but statistically, year over year, people are moving more and more to tablet and especially mobile. So if more and more people are going to be you know, using their mobile phone to gobble up data on the internet, I want to make sure that my ads on my website are responsive so that they actually tailor to the size of that phone. So it doesn't matter if you're using one of those giant new iPhones or one of those big Galaxies or a smaller screen phone. My ads on my website will display really nicely if I use one of these responsive choices or ad sizes. Okay, makes sense, guys. So let's get in the habit of choosing those. All right, pretty clear. Let's continue on. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to select this. I just clicked on it once. That's now been selected. All right, now it's going to ask me about what kind of ad do I want to use. just leave this as the default. Leave it as text and display ads. What's the difference between a text ad or a display ad? Text is just that. It's an ad that's mostly made of text. Display ads are ads that have pictures being used. We like to enable both. We don't want you to select one or the other. Select text and display ads. And I would recommend that you don't mess with your text ad style, custom channels, or backup ads. Not at this time. These are some more advanced features that we'll show you in another training. Okay? Guys, that's it. Okay? You can go here and hit save and get code. So far I've simply named it. I've decided where I want to put it on my website. I've chosen a responsive ad size, and I'm going to scroll down here and save and get code. All right, and it tells me right here the ad code was created successfully, or the ad unit was created. Now, here's all of the code that's going to actually create my ad. So I need to make sure I copy this word for word. You obviously wouldn't retype this or try to retype it. We're just going to highlight it all, and I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to copy it. Okay. So I've got this all copied, and then I can close out this window here, and then you'll notice here in my list, here's my new ad code right here, created on January 21st, 2016. Okay. So now with code in hand, let's head back over to my Uptown Pearl section, and within my code here, depending on where I want it to show, maybe I want it to show up here at the very top before my my little description that's here on this product, or maybe I want to show it on the bottom. I don't know. We'll just show it on the bottom for now, and I'm just going to paste in that code. Okay, so there it is. See all that nasty code I just pasted in there? Once that's pasted in, I can hit the HTML button, and sure enough, my ad unit will be there somewhere. Now, initially, guys, you probably won't see it. You'll maybe think that you've done something wrong. So I saved it, and for sure the code is in there. But if I go out to my store, there's a good chance it won't even show up. Not yet, anyway. Let's go take a look and see if it does. Nope. See how blank that is? You know something's down here because it created this extra blank space. But I don't see my ad. Why don't I see my ad? Well, I can tell you at least two reasons why I don't see my ad. Number one, Google doesn't have any text on this page. I mean, look at it. If you look at the page that I'm putting this ad on, which is silly anyway because it's a product page, and why would I want to advertise for other companies on a product page? Look at the text on this page. If you're Google and you can only read text, what do you even think my page is about right now? Google doesn't see pictures, so Google has no idea that these are pearl earrings. Google can read that little bit of text. Google has no idea, right? So they may choose not even to display an ad because I don't have enough content on this page for them to feel comfortable displaying anything. That's problem number one. So can I just suggest, before you guys get overly serious about Google AdSense, that you've got a website that's got some nice content on it. It's got some uniquely written stuff so that Google's got something to chew on and decide what to advertise. Because if I had a really nicely written product description that talked about how these are pearl earrings and talked about how nice these pearl earrings were and blah, 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 went on and on and on about them, then Google could read that text, and then guess what they would do? They would find an ad related to pearls in some way, and they would display something most likely pearl-based. And if not pearl-based, they may display something related to that person who's searching the internet or on my website. It may show an ad related to their recent searches. The bottom line is this isn't going to work here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull it off, okay? But I wanted to show you guys within Volusion, you can add you can add these Google AdSense ads if you want to. Another place within Volusion that you can add your AdSense ads is right here under Design and Site Content. If you want to put some ads on the home page, I'm gonna direct you down to number 71 right here within Volusion. This is called below featured products. This area here can be edited if I click on number 71. This is my content that's here on that page. Well, I could come right here, and there's that little symbol again, the less than / greater than symbol. I'm going to click on it, and here's the code of that page. I could start adding my own AdSense code within there if I wanted. Okay. All right. You know, we don't spend a lot of time teaching AdSense on Volusion, because can we just understand real briefly that that's not really the point of AdSense? It's not really to market and promote ads on your existing e-commerce web store. That doesn't make any sense, really. The goal of an e-commerce web store is to sell your products from your supplier, not to advertise on behalf of other companies. This specific strategy should be used more for your affiliate blog. Okay. Kathy, which banner are you talking about? Yeah, Cheryl, this works on blogs. What we're showing you absolutely works on blogs. Oh, hey, there it is. My ad just showed up. This is a perfect example. Okay, so my ad was delayed a little bit, but now it shows up. What's my ad showing right now? And Cheryl, the answer to your question as to should you use AdSense is yes, you should, just not on your Volusion e-commerce site. Not as much anyway. Notice that the ad is a Volusion ad. Now, why would Google decide to display an ad like that? Obviously, there's no Volusion content on this specific web page. It's a Volusion site, but Google doesn't really know that. I think the real reason why they're displaying a Volusion ad is because I frequent Volusion a lot on the internet, and because I go to Volusion a lot, Google tracks my browsing history, and they're displaying an ad that they think I might want to see. So if I'm actively visiting, say, Nike.com, and I've been actively looking for a new pair of shoes on Nike.com, there's a good chance that that ad would have been a Nike.com ad. Google's just trying to display ads that they think I would want to click on. And because there's really no content on this page, they're not really sure what exactly they should display, so they just display something that I, as an internet user, have viewed recently. If you guys went and visited this, it could display something different for you depending on your web search history. Okay? All right, well, I'm going to take this off here, okay? Because I don't want this here anyway, so I'm going to edit this product. And deleting an AdSense ad from from my page is easy. I just have to find the code, which is right here, highlight the code, and hit the delete button. There's a little more of the code, hit delete, and it's gone. Save it, and I'm done, okay? Yeah, Pam, exactly. So Pam said, I see these ads everywhere. Is that because I go to Volusion every day? Yes, absolutely. Notice, I mean, you just need to notice this about your experience on the internet. If you've been shopping or on a website recently quite a bit, for example, if you've been shopping and using Walmart.com quite a bit, Well, guess what? You're going to start noticing Walmart ads start popping up all over the internet. And that's no coincidence. Google knows you've been on Walmart, therefore they're going to advertise Walmart to you. Okay? Yeah, so let's just make this clear one more time so there's no confusion. I'm not advocating that you should use AdSense on your Volusion site. In fact, I'm telling you guys right now, there's really no sense in using AdSense on your Volusion site. In most cases, but in case you did want to use it, I wanted to show you how to do it. The vast majority of you guys should be using AdSense on your WordPress site, okay? So some of you guys don't know what this is. Most of you guys do, though, that have been in these trainings. Our WordPress site is our informational site, okay? And this right here, this Albion Strawberry, is the one that we've been using as kind of like a sample site for our training series. Well, I would want to place AdSense ads here. And I'd want to place AdSense ads here because I don't really sell anything on my affiliate site here. Right? This is just an informational site. It's a big collection of articles. That's it. So for that reason, if I want to try to monetize this site, I'm going to put these ads here on this site. Now here's the rule, and I want you guys, if you haven't been listening very closely up to this point, pay attention really closely right now. There's a golden rule when using Google AdSense, and that's that on a single page, okay, you cannot display more than 3 ads at a time. Okay? So what you'll notice about a blog, especially if you have a blog, is blogs are often just a big collection of articles, and often the homepage of a blog is just an aggregate of, you know, your 10 most recently created articles. And you'll see that here on Albion Strawberry. As we scroll down through here, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 written blog posts. And this all shows up on my homepage. These pages, they're all their own individual pages, but they're all showing up at one time on my homepage. If I'm putting ads on each of these pages and each of these blog posts, I'm going to have too many ads showing up on my homepage, and therefore those ads aren't going to show up. And it may stop any of my ads from showing up. So you need to be careful and use your ads judiciously. I would recommend doing kind of what I did here. Having one ad here, kind of in the main sidebar section of your site. This sidebar, at least on this template, and different templates are going to work differently, right? So this is why this is hard to teach you guys. But if a lot of you guys are using this type of a template, this page, or I'm sorry, this section right here where my logo is, where this big ad is, where my pages are, where my categories are, where my recent posts are, this shows up no matter where I am on the site. So if I clicked in to say this blog post right here, Albion Strawberry Taste, if I click in on that, that takes me to this specific page, okay? This information on the left still remains the same. So I think an ideal spot on a WordPress site is to place an ad in an area that shows up everywhere. Sometimes that could be at the top of your site. Sometimes that could be down in the footer of your site. It could be in various places, but I can't say definitively for you because I don't know which WordPress template or WordPress theme you're using. But what I can say is you can't have an ad unit here and then also have an ad unit on the top of every single one of your blog posts. And some of you made that mistake. I know some of you guys made that mistake, and I don't think I was very clear about that before. But what you guys were doing is you were placing an ad here on the left, and then you were placing an ad just below the title of every single one of your blog posts. And so then when I would get to your home page, see, here's an ad right here that I have placed below one of the blog posts, so on and so forth. So on this single page of my site right now, I have one ad here on the left-hand side, and then I have this ad right here. I've got two ads, and that's all on this page. Is that okay to use? Yes. I only have two ads, but my other blog posts don't have any ads in them. Okay. I just have to make sure that I have 3 ads per page. But here's where the problem lies. Really, I would like within my blog ads on virtually every page, but I can't get away with that on this specific template because it's displaying all of my blog posts on the home page. That probably sounds super confusing, but that's the way it works. So you need to just be careful and judicious about where you place your ads. One trick that you could do that could help solve this issue is there's a little bit of code. You'll notice on like all of your blog posts, at least by default, a lot of times they're showing the entire blog post. So look at this one right here. This one's called Albion Strawberry Yield Per Plant, and it shows this giant blog post right here on my home page. I could, and this could be an option, I could place an ad here at the very bottom of the blog post, and I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? Let's actually do that just really quick. I'm going to come back to AdSense. I'm going to create a new ad unit. This is going on Albion Strawberry, so I'm going to put that AS dash, and then the blog post is going to be this one. So I'm going to call this blog post colon that right there. So that's the name, and I'm going to say this is at the bottom of the blog post, okay? So I'll know just exactly where this is. So I did AS dash BP for blog post colon the name of the blog post and then its location at the bottom, okay? Once that's done, I select responsive, okay? So responsive is selected. Everything else is left at the default. I'm going to save and get code. Here's my code for my new AdSense ad unit. We're going to copy. Let's X out of this. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to edit this blog post now, okay? So I'm going to click on that blog post, and I'm going to come up here, and you see where it says Edit Post here at the top? That's where we're going to edit. Okay, and I'm going to put my ad here at the very bottom. I'm just going to paste it here in the code at the bottom. Make sure that the code is showing. So there's visual, and then there's text. I want text up here at the top right, and then I've got my code pasted. I'm going to go ahead at the right and update my blog post, and then we'll see if this shows up soon. Let's go look at the blog post. There it is. So right now it's not showing up yet. It's just showing like a little yellow space right here. Okay. While we're waiting for this, let's take a few of your questions. Vicky says, so ads change as you surf the net. Yeah. As you surf the net, whether you like it or not, you're being tracked by Google and other programs that are sort of tracking what you're doing and what pages you're visiting. And as a result, that information is saved and then used to advertise to you. That's why ads change a little bit like that. Oliver says, when you insert the code, is there a non-executing note indicator before and after the added code so that you can find it again later when you decide to delete it? Sure. There is something that'll help you recognize the code. If I go back and edit this blog post again, let's edit this. Usually, you're able to find it by seeing. You see how it starts with something called script. So it says less than symbol script src dash page add to dot Google syndication. I always look for Google syndication. because then I know that the opening script tag is close. And then I know it also ends with a closing script tag. So I'm very easily able to find my ad unit because of the script and the language. I mean, Google Adsense has a very distinct look. It always will look just kind of like this. Additionally, inside the code, it has the name of the ad unit. So you could always search for the name of the ad unit and be able to find it very quickly. If I wanted to delete this out, I'd easily find it like this, highlight it, hit delete, and save, and it'd be gone. Okay? All right, let's go back out and see if it's displaying anything for us. Scroll down, not yet. Don't hold your breath either. It could take a while for the ad to show up. So now, how many ads do I now have showing on the home page? And Kathy, no, Kathy just asked, can you suggest a free template that accommodates sidebar ads? No, because most of them do. Most free templates have sidebar opportunities to add AdSense. So there's not a specific one that I would recommend. Well, so Megan, that's the crux of what we're trying to discuss right now. Megan just asked, so does that mean you can only place 3 ads using this template? And the answer is no. There's a way around that, and I'm going to show you at least one way to do it if you're using this template. But as of right now, we have 3 ads on our home page, right? If I went and tried to add another ad onto one of my blog posts, I'd be in trouble because I'd be at my 4th ad and I would be violating AdSense policy. The problem with that is I want to make sure my ads are showing up, because this is how at least one of the ways that I'm monetizing my site. So if somebody does a search in Google for Albion Strawberry Scientific Name, there's a chance that they're going to find me directly through this blog post. And I would like to make sure that there's some sort of ad in here somewhere that I can make some money on. So there's a little trick, and this is just one trick of many that you can use and that we'll discuss as time goes by. But you'll notice on the home page, by default, it usually displays the entire blog post. There's a way you can actually shorten that. Okay, I'm gonna show you. There's a little piece of code that I'm gonna put up here. I'll show it to you this way. Looks like this. Okay, you see that little piece of code? Okay, less than symbol, exclamation point, dash dash more, dash dash greater than symbol. This right here. All right, so let me show you what this does. This makes it to where on the home page, rather than displaying an entire blog post, it will display to a point, and then it'll put a link for to read more. Okay, and that's going to be beneficial because that's going to limit the number of times I have ads that show up on the home page, as long as I place the ads at the bottom of my content or before that more symbol is added. So notice the way my home page looks right now, right? Full ads, or I'm sorry, full blog posts. Some are shorter than others, I know, but let's do it with this Albion strawberry yield per plant. Let me show you what happens here. Okay, I'm going to edit this. And back here into the code I am. So I've got the text tab at the right-hand side opened up. If I want to put a break here, right? I don't want to show the whole blog post on the home page. I just want to show a summary up to a point. I can choose a spot here to place that code, and I'm just going to place it right here. I know this is kind of small, but there it is right there. I just copy and pasted that in. And what that should do is it should break my post right there, and not let me read anymore unless I click to read more. Let me update and show you. Let's go back and look at it like a customer would see it or a reader would see it. Here's my blog post right here. Notice it's cut down. Albion strawberry yield per plant. Notice it's cut now. And now, instead of showing the whole post, including the ad, it now shows up to this point with a continue reading link. So I've just fixed a potential problem. I now, if I did that on every single one of my posts and had a little continue reading link that I added in using that code I just showed you guys, I can now add AdSense to the bottom of all of my posts as long as I break them up this way with this little piece of code. So that way, if some random person on Google does a search and finds one of my blog posts, I can still have an ad at the bottom without breaking policy with Google AdSense. Now, be honest with me. How clear was that? For those of you guys that are actually doing this, does that make any sense at all? The way we're sort of circumventing that issue? Yeah, Michelle, to your point, you could any displayed page on your site can only have 3 ads total. So yes, to your thought. Okay, a lot of you guys are getting it, it looks like. Okay, good. I hope that's making sense. That's one way to circumvent it. The trouble, here's the challenge I have trying to present on WordPress and teaching you guys affiliate marketing, especially with AdSense. This rule is dependent, well, no, the rule is not dependent on anything. The rule is you can only have 3 ads that display, but a lot of our editing is kind of dependent on what template you're using. So we might have to do this a little bit by a case-by-case basis for you guys. I mean, you might have to work with your coach on your template, but certainly if you're using this template, this is one way to circumvent it. Also, one other reason why I think this is really, really important, if I view Albion Strawberry on my phone, this ad here in the sidebar doesn't actually show up because the way the app or the way the website displays on a phone is this whole sidebar section is formatted differently to where it doesn't show any advertising. So that makes it really important because if a lot of people are moving to searching using their phones and they see my site and they're reading through my different blog posts, they're probably not going to see this ad, which means I need to have some kind of AdSense in my different blog posts to ensure that people have an opportunity to click on these ads. Because remember, the rule with these ads is I don't get paid unless you're clicking on them, right? You got to click on the ad for me to get paid, which, by the way, is not an invitation for you guys to click on my ads. That's called click fraud. We don't click on each other's ads. Well, that's the fastest way to lose your AdSense account, so please don't do that. But that's kind of how this works. Okay. Kathy, if you're in Volusion and you can't get back to the friendly text versus the HTML, the way it should work is you should just be able to click on the HTML button again and toggle on and off. That's the way it should work. So Vicky, you asked 3 ads per blog, question mark. Not necessarily. Think of it like this. Think of it like 3 ads per page of your site, per displayed page of your site. Blogs just are an interesting challenge because on a blog, naturally, a lot of times the home page is a series of blog posts. Although there is a way to change that. I'll show you this just real quick. Some of you guys might find this interesting, but when you're editing your blog, if you go to dashboard, I believe it is settings right here. There's a settings option and then a reading option. You can actually select what's called a static front page. And that means that instead of your home page having a series of your latest blog posts, rather you can choose just one single page or post to display on your home page and make that kind of like your index page. I won't go into much more detail than that. That should make sense to you guys that would care about that. If not, we can talk more about that later. That's an interesting question, Michelle. Michelle asked, do you think it frustrates the reader to have to click the continue to read more option? Meaning, like if they're reading on my homepage here, or if they're just kind of scrolling through my homepage, do you think it bothers them to do this continue reading thing? I don't think so, no. Nope, there's certainly no evidence of that, and there's a lot of major players in the blog industry that use that kind of a feature, so no, I actually don't think it has an issue. Yeah, Cheryl and Rob just sort of corroborated that point, that it doesn't bother them either. Okay, well, I think we've belabored this topic enough. Having seen what we talked about today, I know we went off onto some tangents, but I would hope you would be able to create ads within AdSense and post those ads onto the various pages of your site, knowing the rule of 3 per displayed page. If you'd like to track your ads performance, you can do that. We'll probably show you that in another training, but you can certainly view reports right here of how your ads are performing. On your dashboard, you can see a quick summary. I'm going to go home on this page, and you can see how much you're bringing in per day on your ads. You can see your current balance owed. I actually just paid myself today, oddly enough. So the rule is with payments on AdSense, you have to accumulate a balance of at least $1,000 before you pay yourself. And so on this specific account, I had accumulated about 1,300 in unpaid ads that I just hadn't taken the time to look at this account for a while. And this is, I'm showing you this really to kind of show you the power of AdSense. I don't check on this account often, and I logged in and was pleasantly surprised to see a pretty high balance, and so I went ahead and paid myself. All you have to do is accumulate $100, and then you can pay yourself. You basically link your checking account to your AdSense, and you can automatically have Google send money directly to you. It's pretty exciting stuff because this money, even though you might only be making 30 or 40, 50 cents a click, sometimes $1 a click, on really good clicks, maybe $1.50, $2, $2.50. Over time, though, and with a lot of traffic, you can make an income, a very substantial income, just with Google AdSense ads, and people do it all the time. This account couldn't sustain me. It took me weeks to make $1,300 on this specific AdSense account, but I have other affiliates and other offers on some of these sites to where I don't have to rely solely on this specific AdSense account. Okay, it's really neat. This is truly automation, and you know, the type of home income I think a lot of you guys are after, where you can set it up early, you create a great blog with a lot of great content, you post ads, and you let it go, and every so often you just pay yourself. And that's exciting because it doesn't require a lot of maintenance once you get things going. Okay. And Kathy, it is 100. I think I clarified that. You have to get a balance of $100, and then you can pay yourself. You can do like an auto pay, where it every time it hits $100, it automatically sends you a check. But or doesn't send you a check, but sends money to you. But that's a little silly. If you've got a really busy AdSense account and you're making $100 every few days, you don't want $100 just being sent to you every few days. Rather, let it accumulate a little bit, and then write yourself a check. Or I keep saying write yourself a check. have them just send you money. Can you put it in PayPal? You maybe can. I'm actually not sure. I'm pretty sure it has to be connected to like a typical checking account. I don't know if you can route this money to PayPal. I'd have to look into that. We'll cover more on how to set up payments and stuff later. We'll do some AdSense tracking. I think for a lot of you guys that are newer to this, the important part is just knowing how to get your ads onto your site. Once your ads are onto your site, that doesn't do us any good until we start getting traffic, right? So then you're going to have to aggressively work to market the site, to add more content, to get traffic, to get rankings, and then you're going to start to see your AdSense moving up in a hurry. But remember, this should just be one of many different strategies to monetize your site, albeit this is a really good one. There's not a set number of blog posts, so that's an interesting question. How many blog posts do you need to have on your site before you can start generating any decent amount of money through AdSense? The better question is not so much how many posts, but how much traffic does it take to generate some decent money? And you need hundreds of visitors a day. You won't make money off of this strategy with just a few visitors. You need hundreds a day. And usually to get to that point, Michelle, you've got to have a fair number of blog posts with some really good content that are attracting people. Okay, well, I think I'm going to finish up, guys. We've gone long enough. Thanks for being with us for the whole hour tonight. Hopefully this was instructive to you guys. I know not all of these trainings are really, really good for everyone at the same time. You got to remember the challenge I have training on one of these seminars is I've got nearly 50 of you here right now. Some of you guys are already making money doing affiliate marketing and need more advanced material. Some of you guys are right about where we are. Some of you guys are just barely starting. And so I'm trying to create a presentation that kind of accommodates everybody, but it's hard to do. So I think sometimes on a Thursday, these are going to be really great for you and you're really going to enjoy them. And other times they might be not as relevant. But I hope you see the challenge that we have coaching in a giant group setting like this, and we do our best to make sure this is pretty good for most of you. Okay, so I think we'll finish up there. Any other lingering questions? Pam says, do you have to submit your blog for approval to AdSense? You do. Before they'll approve and set up an account, they actually do review your AdSense account, or I'm sorry, your website to make sure it fits their guidelines. Okay. All right. Well, I think we'll finish up for the night. Thanks for being here, everybody. Look forward to seeing you guys here next week, same time, same place.